And just a side note, some people in Israel and also abroad, they ask me now, why am I not jumping and dancing in front of them, so just to prove that I'm not a clone. So the answer is that I have jumped and danced in front of them all my life, and the more I do it, the less certain they are if I'm a clone or not. I'm almost 40 years old, and I always like to speak, to write, to express myself. I was never a monk, never a shy person. I have 1,500 videos in this channel alone, and many videos in Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Evernote account. It's extremely difficult to create a clone that will speak like me. It's almost impossible, probably impossible. But with time, the more I jumped and danced, the less people were certain if I'm actually the original or a clone. Now, there is probably no way to solve this issue once and for all. And the reason, I already stated the reason why it's so difficult to solve this issue. Because there is a fundamental difference between the meaning of the question from the Israeli perspective and from other people's perspective. So it's the question is actually, you have change of opinion regarding the question, nature of the question. That's why you will never reach an acceptable answer. Because from the Israeli perspective, there is no difference between a clone and the original. So the answer to the question whether this is a clone will always be yes. You can ask, so why do they agree that some kind of original existed in the past? They can say that such an original never existed. So the answer is that they received tremendous amount of money during the last 40 years because they agreed that there was actually an original 40 years ago. So they need the money, but that's it. Like, I mean, after yes, there was an original 40 years ago, and that's why you need to give us money. But other than that, they are all clones, by definition. And from other people's perspective, a clone is someone that is not the person that they know very well, because he's not a shy person, and his life is well documented in the last 40 years. So they cannot really, have any kind of agreement on what is the question at end. So that's why they will never reach an undisputable answer. Now, if I were you, the people of this earth, mostly not Americans in Israel that are doomed, the best advice that I can give you is the following on the matter. If I were you, I would have stopped discussion on the clone topic, because the question now is not whether I am a clone or the original. The question now is, what do you prefer, life or ego? Not many hours are left to make a choice. The Israelis and the Americans, they have chosen the ego long ago, and they reaffirmed their choice many times. They want ego, they do not want life. And maybe this is actually the choice of all humankind. Maybe. But if someone in this earth actually want to have another choice, to choose different, to choose life, they should run to Israel with the mouth closed and the tongue not moving. They should run to Israel. No, not walk to, run to Israel. The question is not whether the person that now speaks to you is the original or a clone. The question is, what do you prefer, ego or life?